Oh, ho, ho, ho. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, man? I gotta tell you, it's great to be back here, first of all, live on MMA Reloaded Real Talk. We will be sitting down here with 12 and 1 of the best bantamweights of all time. Well, not of all time, sorry, in the world today. A man who's never competed in the UFC, but a man who I believe deserves that distinction. His name is SUPA Raufeon Stots. Now, Raufeon will be joining us here, folks, in about a couple more minutes, another 15 minutes, folks. You will be entertained by the most cutting-edge episode of MMA Reloaded Real Talk with Raufeon Stots. Now, folks, I will get into it as soon as we get in to the fucking page. Just trying to email Raufeon out right now. Folks, Raufeon Stots is waiting. Let's get it started, folks. Yo, what's going on, Raufeon Stots, my bro?
What is up? What is up, my man? We in this thing. Going on.
What's going on, my brother? How's it all going, man? How you hanging, bro?
You know, hanging in there, bro. One step at a time, one day at a time. A lot of stuff going on in the world.
Oh shit,
we doing good though. We doing good.
I hear that, brother. I hear that, man. But first of all, folks, I would like to welcome Raufeon Stots to MMA Reloaded Real Talk, man. It's episode 14, yeah, and you are tuned in to the most unfiltered shit out there, bro, right now. Raufeon, bro, thank you, man, for joining us, bro. You know, and for those fans who don't know you, yeah, I don't know what the fuck they've been doing with their life, bro. You are one of the best bantamweights out there right now, bro. Yeah,
appreciate it.
Just made your debut at BELLATOR, yeah, in December. Yeah, and if I'm honest here, bro, if we didn't get hit with coronavirus and all this stuff, I believe you would have gone in there at least 2-3 more times this year.
Man, I was ready to hit the ground running, man. COVID like put a stop to my stopping in my tracks, man. I was ready to hit the ground running, but you know, hopefully soon, you know, we can get back to normal. Because 2020 was supposed to be the year, man. It's supposed to be the year, but you know, we just gonna keep moving.
Definitely, man. Nah, shit. I mean, you need to, bro. You got that momentum. You got that fire right now, man.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything from Bellator about fighting again, or?
From what I heard, we're supposed to be ready to go. So hopefully soon. From what I heard, what I'm hearing, like around other fighters or whatever, we should be ready to go. So so hopefully soon, man. They haven't disclosed any information to us or whatever, but hopefully soon.
Now let's do it, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you back in there, my bro.
Yeah.
First of all, bro, I mean, Raufeon Stots, bro. We've been talking for a long time, bro, and you've been like a big supporter and of ours and stuff. So, for fans who don't exactly know your story, bro, how did it all start for Raufeon Stots, bro?
Yep. So I started as a wrestler. I was a wrestler. I wrestled in college. So I won 2 national championships in college. And then afterwards, Jens Pover, which should be in a Hall of Fame. He was the first UFC lightweight champion. He asked me to come and do a wrestling, like help out with wrestling at an MMA gym. He was starting in the school that I was doing wrestling at, or in the town where the school was. And so I helped out with some wrestling techniques and drilling and stuff. And then after that, he like convinced me to do some. He's very convincing in getting me to do some jujitsu and then some boxing, you know. And you know, it was all fun to me, you know. And then so then he convinced me to go to a fight. I think I had I trained for about 3 months, and then he tried to give me a fight, and then it was like hard to give me a fight, so it took like 6 months for me to get my first one, but I got it, you know. And then I hit the ground running from there.
I mean, bro. I mean, you got the swagger, bro. Yeah, and it looks like since you started out, you've been surrounded by all stars, my bro. Now training
all stars, man. I've been blessed, man. So when I started with Jens Pover, first ever lightweight champion, UFC lightweight champion. Then we moved to Iowa with my friend Josh Smith to Iowa to Pat Miletich camp. No, so I trained with Sean West, Eric Shelton, Junior Hernandez, Pat Miletich, you know, which is another Hall of Famer. You know, Matt Hughes and Tim Sylvia and stuff like that would come through. You know, like at the time I didn't know how kind of special that was, you know, like these are some like G's, like OGs in the game. And then so eventually like we were looking to make a move, me and Josh. So Pat Miletich was like, hey, you can either go, I recommend 2 places. You can go to ATT down in Florida, or you can go like a couple hours, like 2 hours away to Rufus Sport. Yep, in Milwaukee. So I went and I checked out Rufus Sport. And then I went with some amateurs and stuff, and I was like, okay, well, it's okay. And then I went with the professor, Daniel Wanderlei, and he was, man, I went with him, and he tapped me like freaking 3 times, like in a 3-minute round. And I was like, hey, I gotta be here. Like, this is where I gotta be, because if anything, I gotta come back and try to tap this dude. Like, you know, I gotta like get this dude. You know, if I can't beat this dude, I can't be a world champion. So and then I started training with Anthony Pettis, Sergio Pettis, Paul Felder, Eric Koch, man. Just the list goes on and on, man. Bilal Muhammad, you know, Duke Rufus, you know.
How I mean, those 2 gyms you just mentioned, if I just rewind the conversation a little bit, ATT and Rufus Sport, bro. You had that decision to fucking make. How hard was it to make that decision, my bro?
Man, it was a hard decision, but also it was so I made it without going to ATT. My homie Josh, he made it because another reason I made a decision is because I feel like in the Midwest, it's easier for me to concentrate on my craft. It's easier for me to I got less distractions in the Midwest, you know. When I was in Houston, Texas, because that's where I'm from, you know, it's hot, you know, it's good weather all the time, and it's a lot to do. It's a lot of women, it's a lot of, you know, distractions, partying, you know. And I knew being me, I knew I had success in wrestling because I was kind of isolated, you know. So that's what I feel like made the big decision for me. You know, I'm not into the partying scene. I'm into, you know, making progress with my my craft. So, you know, that was a big, that was a big factor for me.
Bro, it looks like you made the right decision at the end of the day, my bro.
Yes, sir.
Looking at your career and your performances, bro, and of course, going to Rufus Sport, bro, being a wrestler starting out, that's that had to improve your whole round game, bro, because I watched some of your fights, Yeah, but and you say you're a wrestler, but you look more like a striker to me out there, man.
Yeah. And so, and that was the main reason Pat Miletich was like, hey, you need to get to Rufus Sport because of their striking. Their striking was so well renowned, and Duke Rufus is such a kind of a mastermind with teaching striking and striking concepts, you know, that I was able to like get comfortable striking so easy, you know, and it wasn't about me like getting like really good or whatever. It was like me being comfortable in any striking situations, you know. So I was able to think my way through a lot of the striking situations, which worked well for me, you know. I don't necessarily need to use my athleticism. My athleticism is just a plus with his striking university striking techniques. So yeah, so I think Pat Miletich kind of recognized that, and yeah, I hit the ground running with it, man. Because now, like, yeah, most people would say my wrestling is my greatest strength because of my background, but I'm comfortable everywhere. I've won fights on my feet, you know, straight on my feet. I won fights on my on the ground, you know, with jiu-jitsu. But I feel like it's more, I'm comfortable wherever the fight goes, and I feel like that has paid dividends for me. Because I mean, I'm always with the striking at Duke Rufus. I'm always in a position to do any of the other. I'm always in a position to take somebody down. I'm always in a position to you know, land the big strikes. So I'm happy, man.
Oh, bro, I mean, that's fucking great, bro. I mean, the fact that you're putting in the work to improve your all-round game, yeah, Raufeon, that's what makes a fucking champ, bro.
Mixed martial arts, man. That's what it's about,
Mixed
man.
martial arts, bro. You gotta mix that shit up, man.
Gotta mix it up. Gotta mix it up.
I mean, bro. I mean, let's touch on that for 1 second, because wrestling, in my opinion, bro, is one of the best bases to come into MMA with. Yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have natural athleticism, natural timing, strength, your speed.
Yep.
And you display that the whole time. Yeah, when you're in the cage, bro. So in my opinion, people that hate on wrestling, yeah, bro, because there are some fans that criticize, like guys like Curtis Blades or guys like that for
it's
wrestling,
a beast,
bro.
yeah.
I was like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Like go watch kickboxing. If that's what you want to watch, go watch kickboxing.
That's it.
But yeah, wrestling is such a, I feel like wrestling teaches you so much like hard work and what do you say? Not to mention like the athleticism, the body awareness, you know, things like that pay dividends when you do like striking or BJJ, but also like the mindset of wrestling like is a tenacious mindset. Like, hey, I'm this guy's as good at what we're both doing the same thing and we both want the same thing, a takedown or a pin or whatever, but I'm tenacious about going to get that thing, and my will is gonna overpower this man's will. And that's one thing I liked about wrestling too. Like I don't rely on nobody. I can't blame anybody. Like it's me versus another man. Like, and I ain't gonna fucking let you beat me. You know what I mean? So so I feel like, you know, the wrestling, like it instilled that in me, and it's important skill to know, man. I mean, I feel like wrestlers have some of the, you know, the most determined freaking mindsets of you know, of all combat sports.
Damn right. Yeah. Who are some of your inspirations, bro, in the sport, man?
Man, probably the number one is Mighty Mouse, man. Because Mighty Mouse was the first person, you know, that I think he goes by Mighty now, but yeah, he was freaking the first person that I recognized, like he was like evolving on each level, you know what I mean? Like you would see his BJJ get, you know, he would finish people in all facets of MMA. He had like strictly kickboxing kind of knockouts. He had some Muay Thai. He was using knees and elbows. He's jumping, doing flying arm bars, you know, and you know, so that's one person I like to emulate. I like to fight like, you know, because he's like well-rounded. It's not, you're not gonna go into a fight with Mighty Mouse like, okay, hey, we're gonna attack this because it's a weakness, because he doesn't have a lot, you know. So and I feel like that's that's what made him champion. That's what made him his run so long.
I mean, bro, that when you talk Mighty Mouse, yeah, bro, that's the perfect role model. He's flawless.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raufeon. You got his technique. He throws nothing wild, just technique. Yeah,
Yep,
bro.
exactly.
Movement, the timing, bro. It's like poetry in motion. Watching
Yes,
that thing.
sir. Exactly, exactly.
So for an inspiration, man, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Plus, he commented on one of my what was it? Or no, he followed me.
oh shit.
Somebody, or I seen he follow one of my posts or something, and I hit him up, and he was like, I was like, damn, bro, I'm like blown away. You know, you follow me or whatever. And he was like, yeah, you seem like a cool dude. And I was like, hey, I'm forever a fan now. If I wasn't a fan before,
man.
I'm a super fan now, you know.
What? That must have been some.
Oh no, I met him once. I met him once when I went to so I went to a fight. It was after one of my BFC fights. And then I went and I sat K-side with Dana, and we talked about going to the looking for a fight. And then so after, like, he was fighting Wilson Reyes, and who was it? Tyron Woodley had brought me down and to like sit with everybody, you know, like Kate's side, and he had some tickets, some extra tickets or whatever. And afterwards, like, we hung out with Mighty Mouse, like after him doing his like media, the after fight media and stuff like that. And I feel like we went out and ate with him. We met his like father-in-law and stuff like that. And it was cool, man. Cool stuff.
Shit. That must have been some starstruck shit, man.
Yeah,
right
man,
there.
I was starstruck for sure, man. Me and my wife were like, we were backstage and like hanging out and stuff, and we kept telling each other like, hey, be cool. We like this normal. Act like it's normal. Like, don't freak out. Like,
did you give him a business card like, yo, Mighty Mouse, my name Raufeon Stots? Yeah,
yeah. So you know or whatever. No, it was funny. His who was it? I think his wife or something was like, oh, is this because Tyron Woodley brought me to like meet him or whatever, and she was like, oh, is this an up and comer that's gonna try to take the belt from Mighty? And I was like, nah, bro, I ain't even in the weight class, bro. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I ain't never going to 25. I'm strictly a fan.
I mean, bro, oh shit, man, it's always like something when you get to meet your role model, bro.
Right, yeah. It was dope, man. It was dope.
I mean, bro, making your debut, yeah, in December back at Bellator, yeah, and then winning the debut as well, bro. It just ups the stock, yeah. Raufeon Stots, yeah, it goes like this.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna just keep going up, man.
How did you feel? I mean, how are you feeling, bro, right now in your career? Because you're on a win streak, bro. You haven't lost in a long time, yeah. Touch wood, bro. How are you feeling in your career, bro?
I'm feeling good, you know. I'm my bad, I just got a call. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I felt great. I felt like, you know, this is where I'm supposed to be. You know, this is you know, a long time coming. Even though it's not that long, but you know, it feels like I put a lot of work to get where I'm at. So and I'm comfortable, you know. Like I said, I'm comfortable everywhere. I feel like I'm improving everywhere, and I mean, it's showing in my fights, you know. So, you know, I lost that one fight, but I haven't really been challenged since that fight, you know. So it's been good, man. I feel like, especially now, you know, now that we were able to slow down and we've been training a little differently, but I feel like it's more effective for me because I'm able to learn a lot. I'm able to, you know, spend some more time, and it's almost like I got private lessons now when we're training, because it's a smaller group. So I feel like I'm improving a lot, and as far as my fight career, I'm like in the right place. I could fight any one of these top bantamweights in the Bellator. I could fight for a title, I feel like, at any time. Also, you know, I'm in a spot where I can like rack up a bunch of wins, rack up a bunch of paychecks, you know, and you know, on my way to a title shot. So I'm very happy, you know, where I'm at as far as Bellator, as far as my career.
Yeah, right, bro. And bantamweight division, yeah, being the murderer's row that it is, Yeah,
The
Raufeon
murderer's
right
row.
now.
That was the other thing. Like, so I feel like I got here like at the right. I mean, I feel like it's all God's, hand.
Come on.
But I feel like I'm in. We could have a bantamweight tournament. Soon as this what's the name is over. Soon as the featherweight
Bro.
tournament is over. So we can be
Yeah.
competing for $1 million. We can be all because we got a bunch of killers now in the bantamweight division.
Oh.
We got Sergio, we got Ricky Bandejas, we got what's
James
that one?
Gallagher, bro.
The
Yeah.
Gallagher dude. We got some people overseas. It's a lot. Dewan Archuleta, Patrick Mix. It's a lot of ego.
Patrick Mix, yeah, bro.
A lot of good fights to make. So I'm excited. It's a good time to be where I'm at.
I mean, shit, man. I mean, bro, and you just mentioned like some pure killers out there, yeah, Raufeon.
Killers.
Yeah?
We got some killers out there.
And you know what that says to me? That means that Raufeon Stots is right in there, right in the mix.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro.
Exactly.
And,
I'm right in the mix. I'm ready to mix it up.
Damn right, man.
Right
I mean, before Bellator, yeah, Raufeon, you made a huge reputation competing at Victory FC, competing at Legacy. Yeah, bro, two promotions that are known, yeah, bro, for making the future of MMA. Yeah. And in my opinion, yeah, bro, that being on a win streak gives you fire, gives you that momentum. Yeah, bro. Do you feel pressure now to keep that up, or do you think that you've progressed enough, yeah, and you feel comfortable enough to go in there confidently and perform?
Yeah, I feel like I put pressure on myself, but at this point, where my pressures, I feel like even like leading up to getting signed by Bellator, I feel like my pressure lied on kind of getting to this point because I didn't want to like screw it up like I did the one looking for a fight opportunity or whatever. But as of now, after winning my debut, after training and switching my mindset, really, I switched my mindset to, I'm a killer. I'm gonna just go out there and kill. I'm gonna just do what I do best. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let it fly. I feel like my financial strain has like eased that part of my mind. Nice. Like after getting like a big paycheck, or having that like. So I'm fighting for something. I'm fighting for bettering my family's life. I'm bettering my situation. So I feel like that's relieved a lot of pressure. As before, like I'm like every fight is very important because every fight is like I'm fighting for like $5,000. And like I've probably put like $10,000 into the camp. So that was, I feel like, it was putting a strain on my like performance, but as of now, I feel like free. I feel like I'm just ready to go out and have fun and make statements, make as many statements as I can.
Man, that's some of the most important, bro. That's one of the most important things because them smaller promotions, bro, like Legacy and Victory, people don't understand how important it is to make impacts in them promotions. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I was what do you call that, interviewing for a bigger job promotion every fight, like I'm interviewing, I got to make a statement, you know what I mean? Right. And if I don't, maybe I don't get the job. So that was a lot of pressure. Especially with my name. I feel like even going in a fight, most people gonna bring their best when they know they're fighting Raufeon because he's a two-time national champion. He trains at Raufeon. So most people are gonna bring, there's not a lot of people out there that don't think I'm a tough fight. So they're gonna bring their A game, and I gotta be ready for that. Which that's what I've been fighting my whole fight career. Like if somebody's gonna take a fight with me, they know they in for a fight, they ready to be in for a fight. So I mean that's just how it is, and I'm used to it now, and I'm ready to take off.
Oh, damn right, bro. I mean, but I wanna talk about I mean stylistically, yeah, Raufeon, you're known for your wrestling, being a two-time Division II national champ, yeah, bro. As we mentioned, and your fought, and bro, training with guys like Paul Felder, Bilal Muhammad, the Pettis brothers, yeah, Raufeon. How does that? We may have just talked about it. Yeah, but how does it
Yep.
feel to train with such a cast like that, bro? You know, you must like ask them. You know, they must be improving your game. Yeah, and every time you go out there, you implement that game. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
how
I
does
feel like
that?
it brings it brings a sense of confidence. That if I fight, if I fight like I train, or if I'm training with the best and they're keeping me accountable, that a sense of like belonging, or a sense of like I'm ready, because I'm in there, we're going blow for blow in there with UFC champions and hopeful champions, so it brings a sense of like you also training with like the Pettises and Bilal and people like that. It also brings a sense of like it's not a lot of things you can throw at me that haven't been thrown at me, in the gym. You know what I mean? So that's another sense of comfortability, and all that's I'm gonna start using that for just being comfortable so I can take advantage when I know I can take advantage, So I mean, I feel like it's what do you call it? I can't put a price on it. It's priceless to be able to train with these killers that I'm able to train with, because like I'm that much more ready, So I'm never stepping into a fight where I haven't been put in a bad position. I'm never stepping in a fight where I haven't been hit with like a spinning attack or something. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't like knock me out cold, I feel like I can think my way and fight my way through a lot of
Keep
situations.
coming, man. Keep coming, bro. I
Yes,
mean
sir.
that's got I mean training with that cast, yeah, bro. And as you described it, yeah, but it's got to bring the best out of Raufeon and stuff. Yeah,
For
I
sure.
mean you can't go in there and half-ass it. Yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
go in
exactly.
there.
I can't. Yeah, there's no, and that's another reason I like training here. There's no like easy rounds, um. So there's no rounds where I'm like taking off like, oh, I'm okay, I'm gonna rest this round and go with this guy, because the way the training is set up, like he grooms all the amateurs, you know, uh he makes them go to jiu-jitsu, makes them go to kickboxing. He grooms them all to where they're very elite, fighters before they can even come to the pro class,
Yeah.
so I'm training with well-oiled, efficient machines, you know what I mean? So it's never like easy rounds, it's never where I'm like going with somebody that, just learned how to fight or MMA, you know what I mean? Especially like when we're training. Um, so I feel like that pays dividends when I fight.
Oh yeah, man. Hell yeah, bro. I mean, and when we look at training, yeah, Rafian, and this is something I like to touch on with my special guests here, bro, all the time, and that's
Mm-hmm.
weight cutting. Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
A lot of guys think that your whole hard work just goes into training in the cage and rolling, yeah, and then you go in there 15 minutes. Nah, 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 nah. You gotta make sure that your physique, your physical health is on point. Yeah, bro.
yeah,
If we get serious for one sec, um,
yeah,
we've seen fighters pass away from weight cuts, yeah, and
yeah,
making weight. Yeah, bro.
yeah.
What do you think, yeah, Rafian, from a fighter's point of view, goes into making a weight cut successful?
So I'm a proponent of I believe that, I mean, there's a such thing as too much weight cutting. I feel like you should fight you should fight or you should cut weight to where it depends on your performance. How do you feel, or how do you feel you perform at a certain way? It's not about just getting to that weight. It's about being able to make the weight and being able to perform afterwards. Duke Rufus is a big he's a big ally of training weight off. You know what I mean? So not as much like dieting or limiting the as much food as you can to make a
Yeah,
weight. To where you're like you can barely step on the scale. Because you gotta go in and I mean in a what is it 20 hours or something, you're gonna have to go and fight another man that's trying to hurt you really bad. So be in a sense of like frail, you know. I mean, that's hard to do, to recover. And you know, I know they have like UFC Performance Institute and like people who do that for a living, but at the end of the day, I feel like you should cut your weight cut should depend on how you feel like you perform at that weight. You know what I mean? I don't, especially now as everybody's like getting better, less more is not more, or more weight, the more weight you cut don't equate to you being stronger to the person. It doesn't equate, you know. It's a lot of factors that go in, you know, and there are some very smart people that do things with weight cutting, you know. I'm a proponent of, like, in college, I fought, or I wrestled at 149, where I fight at 135 now because I have a little more time to recover. But when I was wrestling, I felt stronger, I felt faster, and I felt like when I'm training, I'm training to get better. I'm not training to get weight off. You know what I mean? And I feel like that stuff adds up, and that stuff you know, eventually, you know, can make or break you. So that's kind of how I feel about weight cutting.
Damn right, bro. I mean, fighting at bantamweight right now, yeah, and if we just give an example to the fans, so say if you're at bantamweight right now, you feel good, you're on a win streak, yeah, you love what you do, yeah, bro. If some guy asked you to go down to flyweight, yeah, bro, would you do it?
There's a high chance that I'm not going to flyweight ever. Just because, unless I hired somebody and it was like for, you know, life-changing money, you know, it's not worth it for me to cut that amount of weight and not perform, you know, as well as because I think about it too. For me to lose that amount of weight, I can only lose so much body fat. I'm gonna have to cut into my muscle. I'm gonna have to cut, you know, down on. Have to be dehydrated past the point, sometimes past the point of return, where you can't reabsorb those nutrients and that water like you're supposed to. So for me, I don't, what's the name? I mean, I stay pretty close. I stay around like 150, 154 or whatever. So that's like a good amount of weight when I'm like out of camp. But when I'm in camp, I'm usually around like 149, 148 or something. And that's like what, like 16 pounds or something.
Yeah.
You know, and that's I feel like that's good for me, man. I feel good there. I don't have to, you know, do a lot of weight cut tricks there. And that's why I feel strong. There's never been a point. That's the other thing. Like, I feel like there's never been a point when I'm overpowered, you know. I feel like if I have gotten beat or whatever, it's not from lack of performance, it's lack of knowledge, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. I would never fight at 25 unless they pay me. They have to pay me like $2 million. I'll fight at 25 if I'm just making the weight.
I mean, bro. I mean, you could look at it like if somebody asks you to go up as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. If they ask me to go up, I mean, which up is not as hard to do, or it's not as detrimental to your body or whatever. You know, the fight might be a different story. Who knows with the fight, but going up is not as much, you know, strain on your body. Because I also believe that weight cutting take years off your life. If you doing it like to the most extreme, I feel like it's taking at least taking some days off your life. You know, it's straining your liver, it's straining your like insides, you know. Yeah. I mean, when people are cutting weight, and I've seen it, and I haven't been there to where I was just like so depleted, but I've seen people like crying. I've seen people, you know, freaking contemplating, you know, their whole life. Like, that's gotta take that stuff takes toll on you, man. And anybody that doesn't, you know, is a G. You say what?
Psychologically. Yeah,
psychologically, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, man, that's a lot. Being so weak, you can't even like stand up, and you gotta have people like help you stand up, man. That's hard, man.
I mean, I mean, bro, I'm 250 pounds. Yeah, if I was gonna
Yeah.
go back down to exact
Oh, you
your
living
weight,
good, huh? You eating good. You living good.
if I was cutting down, yeah, bro, yeah, to 200, even 135, oh damn, bro, you fuck that. I mean, bro,
I mean, and
that
it's
just
been people that actually die, you know, like some people have died from cutting weight. Like it's serious stuff. If you don't do it right, you know, it's serious stuff.
and I guess like that goes to fighters who want to take fights on short notice, right? Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, if you want to take fights on short notice, yeah,
exactly. And now
I'm
that's the other thing too. I don't like cutting weight too because it takes time. You know, I want to be ready. I want to be ready. I would love to fight like 5 times a year. Most times when people cut a lot of weight, they need time for their body to, so they lose all the weight or whatever and they fight. Then they body kind of holds on to everything and it blooms up because like it's been depleted for so long. Then it takes time to get back down. You got to get your body back to homeostasis or whatever. And it takes time for your body to get back down to that weight, you know? So most times when they cut a lot of weight, you only see them fight like 2 times a year. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
so that's another reason too.
Yeah, bro. I mean, moving on from the weight cut, yeah, Raufeon, yeah, I wanna,
Yeah,
I do like a little thing where we do a little throwback, man, for you, yeah.
yeah.
So I want to take you back down to LFA 55, yeah, Raufeon.
55.
You met up with Levi Moles, you were
Okay.
10-1, yeah,
Yeah,
Raufeon. You
yeah,
took the win, bro. And this is what this is why I brought up you being so well rounded. Yeah, bro, because
yeah,
that was the first fight of yours I watched. Yeah, bro,
yeah.
live, and it was you were great, bro. No one would ever guess you're a wrestler in that, bro.
Yeah, I
Timing,
mean that was a back and forth striking battle pretty much.
right?
What happened was I took him down that first round and
Yeah,
he like got me in like a leg lock and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay away from there. We gonna if I take you down, I gotta be aware of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna stay on our feet for a while. That was I mean he like wobbled me for a couple
you
rounds,
did.
you know, or like 2 shots. That was a good fight, man.
He came in, bro, yeah, and a lot of people knew that he was a brawler, bro. He loves to stand.
Yep.
But do you when you did that, bro, and you took him down in that first round, I saw
Yeah.
it, bro, and you were
Yeah, he
scrambling
got me.
position. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
he
were
got me in that
scrambling position.
leg lock. I think it was a he was like going for a heel hook.
Yeah.
I forget that position, what that position is called. But yeah, I remember that. I remember looking at him like, bro, you better not you better not try to crank on my leg, boy. I'm about to wait till I get up. How much time is left? Oh, wait till I get up. I'm gonna mess you up.
You did
Yeah,
great,
I
bro.
remember that.
A lot of people don't expect you to. A lot of people probably didn't expect you to win the stand-up exchanges. But to me,
Yeah.
yeah, bro, the difference that made you take that win was you were a lot more active on the feet. You came in, use your footwork, yeah, bro. Your
Mhm.
angles with the kicks. I mean, it was fucking beautiful to watch, bro. And I
Thank
saw a
you, man.
little bit of Mighty Mouse in there too, bro.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. And that's I feel like fighting too. Duke Rufus is he he tells that a lot. Like so everybody's got a game plan or whatever, but a lot of the fighters, like the great fighters, they're able to like pick up on weaknesses or pick up or change game plans mid-fight because they have those tools in their pocket. So that's why it's like good to be well-rounded. I can't sometimes, you know, my A game won't work. So I gotta have a B and a C game, you know, that I'm able to switch to comfortably, or my fight career is gonna be harder than it should. You know what I mean?
I guess that's more prominent in championship fights. Like if you're in a championship fight, yeah, bro.
Yeah, for sure. And that
And
exactly, and that style of fighting is meant for those, yeah, the championship level fights, the tough fights, and that's what we should be training for. We shouldn't be training to beat the people that we can beat with our A game. We got to be training to beat people that we're not supposed to beat, or beat people that are gonna be, hard to beat. You know what I mean?
sure, yeah, but I mean, when we look at Bellator's bantamweight division, yeah, Raufeon, and I just want to ask you this question real quick because the 4 main guys right now at Bellator's bantamweight division, Patrick
Yep.
Mix, yeah, bro, who will most
Yep.
likely get the bantamweight championship, bro, and he's the favorite to do it. Yeah.
Yep. For sure.
you got James Gallagher, Ricky Bandejas, Juan Archuleta. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Eduardo Dantas.
Yep.
How do you how do you think you match up with guys like that? Because if I look at Eduardo Dantas, he's like your style. He's a bit taller.
Yeah.
If I do Juan Archuleta, yeah, bro. He's already had a championship shot, experience.
Yeah.
How do you
I
feel?
feel like I match up with each one of those guys differently, and I take each fight like differently. You know what I mean? Because we all have weaknesses, or we all, you know, they say we got weaknesses and strengths. So, and I'm a type of fighter that if you have a weakness, I'm gonna go after the weakness. You know what I mean? And I'm good enough. I feel like my wrestling allows me to dictate where I want to take the fight. You know what I mean? So, like if I feel like my stand up is better than yours, my wrestling is gonna dictate where we keep it. So we're gonna keep it standing. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I look at like any of these fights, and I feel like I'm able to. So, or as far as who is that? Juan Archuleta. Juan Archuleta, I feel like he's getting better at stand up, but you don't see him on his back a lot. You know what I mean? So, you know, I would challenge that. You know, I would challenge his cardio off his back. I would challenge, you know, his striking. I feel like his striking is a little wild. It's a little darty. I challenge that. But I feel like because I'm so well-rounded, I'm able to put the fight where I want to put it, where, you know, where I feel like I have the advantage.
I mean, Raufeon, getting a little bit personal here, yeah, bro. Of course, you had your shot at looking for a fight, yeah, but it didn't go the way you wanted it to.
Yep, stuff happens, man.
Yeah, it does, man. Shit happens, bro. We live in some crazy ass sport, bro.
Yes, sir.
But the Contender Series comes back in August, yeah, Raufeon, and there's a little question to you, my bro. Do you see yourself going through to the Contender Series to?
So before I signed to Bellator, there was a problem of me getting on the Contender Series because they said I was like how'd they put it? I was too experienced for the Contender Series, was what I was told through the management and Sean Shelby, I think. So I don't think that's a route. I think I'm past the Contender Series route just because of my experience. I don't feel like because the problem was I think either the odds betting or however the Contender is set up. It was like I would be too much of a favorite or something for me to be on the contenders. So that wasn't an option before. As of now, I don't like see myself going there because, you know, I'm signed to Bellator. If I like don't get re-signed or something, I don't see myself going through contenders. I just don't see.
I think Bellator is a good place right now, man. Yeah,
yeah, for sure. I'm happy in Bellator right now. Unless something changes, I'm going for that Bellator belt, you know.
Damn right, bro. Damn right, man. You know, Raufeon, yeah, if you could pick any guy right now, yeah, say if someone offered you to fight Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson, yeah, bro. Let's start off with that. Yeah, Raufeon. How would
if somebody offered me to fight anybody?
If somebody offered you to fight Mighty Mouse, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Right now, as you are in your career, as he is in his. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
How would you take that, man? Because my question was
how would I approach that fight?
Yeah, because my question, bro, was initially if you could pick any bantamweight in the world.
Yeah.
Who would you pick and why? Yeah, bro. But I want to throw in Mighty Mouse in there because you mentioned the inspiration.
Man, why you gotta do me like that with my boy? No,
I'm not putting you on the spot, bro.
No, I appreciate it. I would approach it very seriously, you know. I would approach it as an uphill battle, and I would approach it like training for the fight of my life, pretty much, you know. I feel like, how would I fight this guy? Man, I would have to ask my coaches. I would approach this with the most the greatest minds of the sport, and like very seriously. You know what I mean? Whereas some of the fights I go through, I'm like I'll stick to I got a game plan, but I got like a general game plan because nothing ever goes like you really want it to go in fight, or you just never know how it's gonna go. So I think I would maybe I would dot a lot more I's and cross a lot more T's fighting him. But I feel like my training, my progression, everything is on point. I'm at a place where I feel like I can compete, with Mighty Mouse, even though he's a beast. I feel like I'm at that point in my career. So I would approach it very seriously, you know what I mean?
Yeah, damn right, bro. I mean, the reason I asked you that, Raufeon, is because bro, Henry Cejudo just posted this on his Twitter. Yeah, bro. Shit. Oh, fuck. Did I lose it? Shit. Raufeon.
You there?
Yo, Raufeon, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I think my phone was about to die. My bad.
Sorry, bro.
No, it's good.
Nah, man. The reason I asked you that, bro, is because Henry Cejudo posted it on his Twitter last night that he called out Demetrius Johnson, bro, for a trilogy fight.
Yeah? Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. And right now, bro, Demetrius is
I never believed he won that second fight. So
that'd
be very interesting. I didn't think he won. That's for me, but I'm probably biased. But I didn't think he won that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
man.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just posted it up on Instagram.
That'd be a good fight. That'd be a great fight.
That'd be a sick fight, bro. I mean, I think both guys have grown from that second fight. Yeah, bro. Yeah. And Cejudo's become who he is, yeah, bro.
With Cejudo, I mean, Cejudo's he has grown a lot. I feel like.
Yeah, bro. And both good and bad. Yeah, bro. He's a legit asshole, and he's a champ, bro. Yeah, for sure.
Straight up. You gotta respect the hustle, though. He's been hustling. He's been knocking off some killers. So I respect the hell out of his fight. His fight career, the stuff he does outside. Of the fighting, like his promoting. Is suspect, but as a fighter, he's a G.
Damn right, man. Damn right. When you beat Demetrius Johnson and Dominic Cruz, yeah, bro, it's something else. Yeah.
Exactly. You got my respect, man.
And Demetrius, bro, even though he went to Asia, yeah, bro, and ONE FC is one of my favorite promotions to watch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Raufeon, because that's pure martial arts, bro. That's some real physical shit out there.
Yeah, sure.
And he's the ONE FC lightweight champ now, bro.
Who's that?
Demetrius.
Yeah, he's the Grand Prix champion.
Yeah, I think. Grand Prix champ. Yeah,
they gotta like unify the
championship. They got like
belt. The championship belt. Yeah,
unify that. And I love that division, bro. Their lightweight division. And if you see their Muay Thai division, yeah, bro, it hurts me.
They got all of the badass Muay Thai fighters there.
Man, when I have the sound on, yeah, bro, and I hear that shit, it hurts me, bro. I'm like,
man, them Muay Thai fights, bro, are brutal. Freaking brutal.
Yeah.
That's like a different type of grind. That's like like a painful fight style.
Shit, bro. I mean, of course, now to end it off, Raufeon, UFC 251 is coming out, bro. We're down this Saturday night. Jorge Masvidal, bro, stepped in.
Hell of a card, man. This card is crazy.
Jorge steps in, yeah, bro. And, of course, Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian Nightmare, bro, is the champ. How I was gonna do this in the introduction, yeah, bro, but then you were quick in joining, yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna keep him waiting.
For sure. So you say what?
How do you see that shit going, bro? I mean,
How do I see it going?
yeah.
So man, I feel like, you know, man, I feel like it's gonna be a tough fight.
Oh, yeah.
But I gotta go with Kamaru Usman. You know, I feel like he has more tools. You know, I feel like he got more tools. I feel like he'll get a job done. Also, he's a fellow Nigerian, and he was one of my. He went to the same school I did, so he like showed me around Carney, and he was like one of my coaches for wrestling. So I gotta go with my boy Kamaru.
Oh shit, man. Kamaru Usman, bro. Shout out.
Kamaru Usman. Gotta go with Kamaru Usman.
Kamaru Usman, but also shout out to one of my other boys, Andrew Kawani. You know what? Yeah, Raufeon. Bro, I mean that shit is crazy, bro.
Yeah, that fight gonna be. I mean, that fight gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. Masvidal's boxing, Muay Thai, his striking in general, you know, is fucking beastly. You know, but Marty. I mean, the same can be said about Marty. You know, I mean, Kamaru. You know, he's the same thing. I know I gotta correct myself every time I say.
I mean, Jorge Masvidal, bro, has come out a long way. It's taken him 17 years to get out to this point. He's been killing buckets. Yeah,
a lot. I was gonna say a lot can be said about that too. He's been in the game, you know, for 17 years, you know, and he's consistently stayed at the top. Yeah. Man. So, yeah, I mean, he's not an easy fight for anybody, you know. If you think that, you know, most times they end up napping, you know. But you know, I think Marty's got the formula for it. You know, we'll see. I don't know, man. We'll see.
But I mean, I don't want to put you on the spotlight, yeah, bro. But nah, it's gonna be some crazy ass shit fight, bro. These guys are gonna go in there and kill each other.
This is some, hey, this is some legend shit that's about to happen this weekend. Fighting on an island, you know what I'm saying? They out there, Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, man. It's gonna be hot as hell, bro. It's gonna be like
hot as hell, man. I heard it's like 120 degrees on a good day or something.
Yeah, man. Yeah, shit.
Super hot. Yeah, super hot. I know they ain't fighting in that cage outside, or they better not.
Yeah, they are. Hell yeah, they are.
They are?
I think so. Yeah. It will sell.
It's gonna be so hot.
Man, it will sell. They
gonna keep the canvas from slipping and stuff.
Holy shit, bro! How are they gonna keep from melting, bro? You're gonna turn into hot chocolate right there, bro.
That's gonna be crazy.
I mean, shit.
I wouldn't want to do that. I'm good on that. That's too. It get too hot outside. I'm trying to sit under the umbrella.
No Fight Island, bro, for Raufeon Stots, bro.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I mean, bro,
fighting the heat like that.
I mean, Raufeon, good luck, bro, in your career, my bro. I'm a big fan. You know what, folks? Tune in, man, to Raufeon Stots, bro. He's got his own highlight reel on fucking YouTube, bro.
Yeah, we out here.
I mean, SUPA Raufeon Stots, bro. Thank you so much for joining me, man.
No problem, bro. It's always fun talking to you, man.
Thank you, my bro, and good luck, man. I hope you get a fight soon. And bro, just as a courtesy, yeah, bro, I'll message you about sending you an MMA Reloaded shirt, bro. Yeah,
hey,
coming out.
Let's go.
Coming out real soon. Yeah, I'll send you an exclusive, yeah, bro.
Yeah, let's go. Appreciate that, bro.
Nah, man, you deserve it, my bro. Yeah,
appreciate it.
Stay safe, my bro, and stay healthy, man.
Yeah? Hell yeah, you too, bro.
Peace, my bro.
Peace out.